Hey, this is Ari, and in this video, I want to share with you a little clip from one of my recent interviews with Dr. Mercola, who is a good friend of mine, who is also somewhat of a childhood idol of mine. I've been following his work since I was a teenager, since I was 16 or 17 years old, over 20 years ago. And I highly recommend it. This was a power-packed interview, and you'll see why in this little clip. And if you want to listen to the full-length interview, which I highly recommend, the link for that is down in the description below. Enjoy.
Well, it was developed in Japan almost 50 years ago by a guy named Sato, Professor Sato, S-A-T-O, and it's a totally Japanese component. It was copied by the Americans about maybe 15 years ago, about big time, maybe 12 years ago. And the original version by Sato and others is they have this really mechanical device that when it was first introduced cost about $20,000 or so. And essentially, is a compressor that puts air into these expandable bands that you put around your arms that are really pretty sophisticated devices that blow up and then inflate and deflate on a regular cycle, and then they can maintain their inflation. So the physical therapists in this country kind of weren't too interested in paying that type of money. And I don't blame them. It's a lot of money. So they did knockoffs, and there was a device that seemed like it was similar, but in reality, it really wasn't. It was a surgical tourniquet that already had FDA approval, and it cost a lot less. So they just knocked that off and used that as a tourniquet, not as a smaller band, because a surgical tourniquet is like a blood pressure cuff. It's about 4 or 5 inches wide, where these Katsu bands are maybe 2 inches, so literally less than half the size. So the difference is that it allows the blood to go into the muscle, and you can actually get a more optimized training effect. But they still work. You can use the Katsu type equipment or even physical therapy equipment. There's a number of them out there. Or you can get the really inexpensive knockoffs that will work, but they don't have a cycling component, and that is just a simple band that has a Velcro strap on it so that you can wrap on. Not wrap so tight that it's a tourniquet. You still want some blood flow going through. You only want to restrict the blood by about 50%, at least the arterial. You want to completely obstruct the venous return, but not the arterial flow. Mm-hmm. And then you get the best of both worlds, and you can get the training effect.
Hey, this is Ari. I hope you enjoyed this video. And one more thing before you go. Actually, 2 more things. One is, if you enjoyed this particular little clip, the link to the full-length podcast is in the description down below. So make sure to check that out. Also, one more thing. Let me ask you a question. What if I could show you how to double your energy levels and dramatically improve your brain function, reducing your anxiety and depression to a degree on par with antidepressant drugs, but without the side effects? Sound pretty interesting? Well, there are, in fact, numerous compounds that can do this, that have been shown to do this. And I'll take you through just a few of these very briefly. One of them is rhodiola rosea. And this has been shown in studies, rhodiola rosea extract, in people with stress-related fatigue and exhaustion to cut their levels of fatigue and brain fog in half in less than a month. Just this one compound. There's another compound in my formula Energenesis called NT factor phospholipids that's been shown to help repair mitochondrial membranes and mitochondrial health to the level of healthy 29-year-olds, taking people with deteriorated mitochondria who are over the age of 65, restoring it to the level of healthy 29-year-olds. And that has been shown in numerous studies in various types of chronic fatigue, aging-associated chronic fatigue, obesity-related chronic fatigue syndrome, to increase energy levels by 30 to 45% in the span of 4 to 12 weeks, depending on the specific study. So dramatic improvements in a very, very short period of time. 2 more compounds that are amazing, I highly recommend, that are in my formula Ultra Brain, along with rhodiola rosea. Saffron extract. This has been shown to increase levels of, improve your mood, I should say, and decrease levels of depression on par with fluoxetine, which is Prozac. And not only that, but with fewer side effects. It's much safer and much less likely to cause negative effects than antidepressant drugs are. Acetyl L-carnitine is another compound that's been shown to dramatically improve brain health in older adults. It also improves energy levels in older adults with chronic fatigue by between 40 to 50% in just the span of 2 to 4 months. And the last thing I'll mention here is acetyl L-carnitine has also been compared to antidepressant drugs and been shown, like saffron, to be as effective as antidepressant drugs in combating depression, but without the harmful side effects that so often occur with the drugs. So this is just a small sampling of the over 35 compounds that are in my formulas, Energenesis and Ultra Brain, that are all proven to dramatically improve energy levels, mitochondrial health, and brain health, and much, much more. And I highly recommend that you go check these out. If you're struggling with depression or anxiety or brain fog, if you're struggling with stress-related exhaustion and burnout, if you're struggling with chronic fatigue, go check out these formulas, give them a shot. I promise you are going to be blown away by the results. And like I said, the science has already proven that these things work. So you don't have to just take my word for it. There's lots of research to support that, and I'll even link to some of that research down below so you can verify everything that I just said for yourself. So the links to those studies will be in the description for this video down below. So check them out. Check out the formulas on theenergyblueprint.com. Again, Energenesis is the mitochondrial formula, and Ultra Brain is our brain formula. Check them out, try them out, and I think you're going to be blown away by the results. Thanks so much, and I'll talk to you again soon.